Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels, and thank you to our sponsors Mr Fothergill Seeds and Cobra Garden. Today I'm going to be deadheading the euphorbias in the borders and checking the apple trees. Euphorbias are a big family of plants that we can grow in the garden, and they're ideal for all different situations, and we grow them mainly for their spring and early summer flowers, which can be sort of bronzes and lovely lime greens, and very often they're a good plant that you can put in borders where it's a bit shady. Some will stand it moist, some will stand it dry, so lovely range out there to grow. One that I grow in a part of the garden where virtually nothing else grows, it's really shady and it's really dry, is one called Euphorbia robbii. Can be a bit of a thug, to be fair. It can run if it's in a good fertile moist soil. It will sprout up all over the place, but certainly where I grow it, where it's dry, it tends to behave itself, and it just gives me that lovely ground cover and lovely flowers in the spring. This one here isn't so much of a thug. This is a smaller, more compact growing euphorbia. It's squashed in a little bit now, so I need to do a bit of tidying around it just to give it a bit more growing room, but you can see the remains of the flowers that we had in spring, and this one has a dark centre to it, so it's lime green with a dark centre. Now what we need to do at this time of the year is to get rid of those if you haven't already done it. We've got all this lovely new growth coming, and this is what will flower next year. So really what I want to do is to get rid of those, and all we do is we cut them as far down into the plant as possible, so it's just a case of parting the growth. Now I ought to at this point warn you that these give off a milky sappy substance that can irritate some people, so if you are a bit sensitive, just be careful and wear gloves, because that can make a rash come out on you. So it's just a case of going down and just trimming them out right the way down to the base, and as you can see we've got this lovely new growth that's taken its place, and they will flower next year, so it just keeps it in good condition. If you don't take them out, it gets old and woody quickly and shortens the life of it. There's another one around the corner I want to show, which is a much bigger one. It grows more as a shrub, so let's have a look at that one now. And this is it. As you can see, it's quite a big one. This is Euphorbia pasteuri. Grows to about 1 metre tall and a couple of metres across, so you need a fairly big space to grow this in the garden, but it is beautiful. It's got lovely architectural leaves on there, and it's there all the way through the winter because it's evergreen, it doesn't die back, and then late spring, early summer, it produces these big sort of umbels of flowers that are a bronzy brown and green colour that give off a honey scent. In fact, one of its common names is the honeypot euphorbia. So it really is quite interesting. Not 100% hardy, so the books say, but here we are in North Yorkshire, and this has been in this bed for 6 years, and it's just thrived. So what I do find, if I get a bit of frost damage on it, I just give it a prune in the spring and away it grows again. So I think it's much tougher than we're led to believe. Now these are the remains of the flower, not like this one. This grows in more of a dome shape, but I leave these on for a bit longer because I think these look really attractive. So what I'm going to do with these is wait until the autumn when they really die off, and then I'll cut them down then to this point here, and then these new shoots that are already being made will be the ones that have the flowers on next spring. So while they look good, I'm going to leave them on, and occasionally this one will seed. And just down here, I've just noticed as I just walked by, there is a seedling growing in the garden. So there, what I will do with that one probably in the autumn is just lift that young seedling and pot that up or plant it somewhere else in the garden. So it is one you can grow from seed if you want to, but it's not one that will seed all over the garden and spoil. So good one to look for, Euphorbia pasteuri. The fruit trees are doing okay, and it looks like we're going to get a good crop on most things. This is conference pear, and it's quite an easy one to recognise because it's a nice slim pear, not ready till the end of October, so these have got quite a lot of growing time left on them, so good crop on the pear tree. And this one behind me is a Bramley apple. Bramley is a famous Nottinghamshire apple, of course, been around for over 200 years, and again these are now swelling nicely. These are going to be a good crop there, not ready to pick till the end of October, so they're going to get much bigger. I'd expect those to be sort of that size, so everything's looking good on there. And then over here we've got one of the eaters. We've got several eaters in here, and this is one of our favourites. It's a variety called Katie, and this one is usually ready in about mid to late September, so we've got about another 6 or so weeks of growing time. It's not a big apple, it will get a little bit bigger than that, and it's already just starting to show a bit of colour. And the apples that are on the sunny side, which isn't this side, will develop a really red sheen on them, and it's such a juicy apple, and it's one that you can pick straight from the tree and eat it, and it's a really good one to juice. I have spotted this on 1 or 2 of the trees, only 1 or 2, which is good. This is a disease called brown rot. It's a fungal disease, and an apple suddenly gets the spores on it, the fruit rots, and where this touches a healthy fruit, it spreads around the tree. So if you spot any of these, and it can be apples, pears or plums, then pick them off straight away. Don't drop them on the floor, put them in a dustbin or burn them. Certainly don't put them on the compost heap, because there are millions of spores there that would spread around. So keep your eye on your fruit trees, pick them off to protect the apples on there and all the other fruit, and hopefully we'll still get a good crop. Well, thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and thank you for all your likes and shares. It is greatly appreciated. Next time I'm going to answer some of your gardening questions. So if you've got a problem with plants in the garden, or there's something you want to know about, then you can post the question on our Facebook or Twitter page, and I'll answer as many as I can. So until then, take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.